Well. Hello, everybody. It's Friday. And guess what? We are here with a special guest. Listen, guys, I want to welcome you. Welcome from the battle to the glory. Yes, I'm still energized. I'm still fired up. So we got Jenna here today, y'all. So we going to jump on into this topic. But before we get into this topic, we want to ask Jenna how was her day today? How was her week? Because you're getting ready to go into the weekend. It's about to be blazing out there. So, Jenna, how was your week? How was your day? Talk to us.
It was good. My week went by very slow at first, but then today I just woke up feeling so productive and I didn't even have to really put in much effort, but I gained my first client back.
Okay. That's what's up. I love it. Oh, so you about to get back on the grind, huh? Get on that money making type. We know how that be.
I decided to go back to work, so I'm back at it, baby.
You about to go back get that paper?
You know it. I took a break. I had a good 8 month or 10 month break, but so it's time.
Okay, all
My
right.
man's been doing his thing, letting me stay home and be pretty princess, but I'm ready to go back to work now.
Okay. Oh well, listen, we got some a good topic today, but we gonna get right into it. Relationships and marriage, the benefits of the two. So since you brought this up, so brought it to my attention. So let's just dive into it. What are your take on that? Marriage, relationships, and the benefits of that.
So I think that marriage has its pros and its cons. Um, I definitely say that my take on marriage has changed. I've had a recent change of heart, and I'm okay with that.
When you say change your heart, what do you mean?
I used to view marriage very differently, and lately I just I've changed my views on it.
And do you care to dive into that? Why your views have changed?
Sure. So lately, over the past probably decade, I've seen so many divorces end horribly, and I mean horribly. Like not even human, like not even decency. And I'm sitting there thinking, how can people be that bitter towards somebody that you married? There's no way in the world that I would ever be so cold and malicious towards somebody that I once shared a life with. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I don't care what that person did. I would still on my end be amicable.
Well,
But I've seen marriages end so bad that I
you got
want no
scared.
parts.
You got scared. Well, I want to say this to you. The reason why some marriages end the way they end, because just think about this. Just think about a puzzle, right? There's certain pieces to the puzzle that have the perfect fit for the puzzle.
Mhm.
And see, sometimes when you look at the relationship and you look at the marriage, right? Sometimes people force the pieces together. They're not supposed to be together. So they say, you know what? Oh, this person got a good job, got a good, head on his shoulder. And so when you have that, it's not meant to be together. And so you force because of your desires, because of what you want, or it's vice versa, what the man wants, and they try to make it work. And so that's what happens. It's two pieces of the puzzle that's not meant to be together. And so when you do that, that's where it comes the disaster and the malice and the hate, because there's two pieces that's not supposed to be together. And so, when you look at it like that, that's what happens. And that's why a lot of marriages, some people get married and they stay together because, of the kids. They don't want to break up. They don't want to they want to raise the kids together, but they're not supposed to be together. But they make it work,
Right.
and at the end of the day, they lose themselves to their happiness. And so the important thing is this is that you have to understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, then you'll know how to. And see, it's not the woman's job to pick the man; it's the man's job to pick the woman. And guess what? He has to have standards, morals. You have to have some type of idea of what he wants in his household, and it's not to be demanding. It's not to say controlling. No, because guess what? When you have a wife by your side, she's supposed to have your back no matter what, and vice versa. You're supposed to have her back no matter what. And so that's when I'm big on marriage. So I'm a little different than you. I'm big on it because not because I'm married. I've been divorced before. You know what I'm saying? And the things that I did in the first marriage, I will not do in the second. I learned through trials and tribulations some of the things that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? The neglect to value her as a queen. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing like crazy, but I just didn't do those things, and women require that. And so now, I'm in a position I understand it, I value it, and I cherish it. And I didn't do that the first time, so I can speak on it. That's why things like this I can talk about because I've been through the storm, I've been through the fire, and I accept, the things that I've done and I created because of my mistakes, my choices, and not being diligent to, supporting and always having her back. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in a position, like I said, I can do that. And so when you look at marriages, that's why there's a lot of them. I know people that's married to a person that they shouldn't be married. They make it work. They not happy. You know what I'm saying? Because when we get together, you can tell they not happy. But they, like I said, they make it work, and they honor marriage. So people do it. But when you look at the whole picture of it, that's why you see a lot of divorces, because people don't honor and respect the marriage part.
Well, and can I interject something right here?
Yeah.
Because this is a great point. To be truthful with you, I think a lot of women want to be married just to say they're married, but I don't think they really understand what it takes to be a wife. And I'm just saying from a female perspective, and I've never been married, so I'm no expert on this topic. I'm just telling you what I see, what I've been through, what I've witnessed, and all of that good stuff. But what I can say is I think a lot of women don't really understand what it takes to be a wife. And I think that they jump into marriage because of society, society standards. If you're not married by 35 or 30, you're an old maid. If you're not married by 40, which my God, which that's me, that's my age. If you're not married by 40, you know what I mean? You're toast, you're out of there. And I don't think that's fair, because in all reality, women don't fully come into like themselves until their mid 30s. And I don't care what woman acts like she has it all together. There's a lot of life lessons and life things that you just don't really see or go through at a young age, no matter how mature you are. And I think with age comes it comes with wisdom. And so I think now, knowing what I know now and seeing what everything that I've seen, like you have a different perspective. You can see things from different viewpoints, to where in your 20s and early 30s, you really don't, you just don't. I mean, a lot of women don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. They just think that, you're supposed to graduate high school, get married, have a kid. And they don't understand that they're women like me who get out of high school. Some of us have kids, but we still aggressively pursue, an education and a career and all of that stuff. But when you do that, you sacrifice, marriage. Do you want to be a CEO or do you want to be a wife? Because sometimes it's hard to do both. And so I think women do it. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. What I'm saying is it's hard sometimes. It's a lot harder, especially when you're dating and you're single. I'm just going to be honest with you. When you're single, men get intimidated by women that have good careers, or, you know what I mean?
Now, I want to interject right there. Now, what you see, that's key, what you just said. See, it's not that the men are intimidated. So the men that are attracted to you are attracted to your ambition. You understand me? So you got a good job, so they're attracted to that. And if you're beautiful, they're attracted to that. But at the end of the day, now that's where your red flag comes in and say, wait a minute, I'm I got my own business. Yeah, you look good, you look sexy, but his values don't reach where yours is. So guess what? That's a person you got to be like. Some people be like, oh no, he could work up. No, age makes a big difference. So if you talk about 30 and 40, right? At 40 years old, if you still working at, I don't even want to make nobody feel bad. If you still working at a clothing store and you were only a manager, a regional manager, and you still making a little bit of money. I don't know. That's not my field, so I couldn't really tell you. But if you're not making the money that you're making, all right, now it's unbalanced already. You're starting an unbalanced relationship already. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what happens. And so now you saying going back to school, and so you can benefit from going to school. Now if you're 30 and 40 and you doing that, going back to school, and he said, you know what, I want to go back to school too. Now y'all working something together. So now y'all can earn and gain together. You know what I'm saying? So now it's balance. You got balance. But when you don't have that, and now it creates a problem. It's not even about a woman making more than a man. It creates an unbalanced relationship. You got a woman doing grinding and making all this money, and the man, he not really applying himself, and he not, trying to get this bag. And so now he's not trying to do that. And so now look, you got a relationship. It's not even 100-100. It's not even 50-50. It's like 60-20, 60-40. You know what I'm saying? I said 60-30. I mean, I meant to say 60-40. She making all this 70-30. It don't make a difference. So she already up there. And so, I don't recommend a man or woman dating somebody that's not on the same plane as you, same level. And that's not talking about mentality. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, if you're going to talk about finance, all right, you got to be good in finance, your morals. These are the things that you got to look at before you even think about dating a person, going out on dates. Now, when you get older, it's a whole different ball game. Your time is shortened. Like when I say time is shortened, it's like, all right, I'm dating you now. What we going from here? What we doing? Because I'm not wasting my time. Huh?
You tolerate less. I know for
I'm
me,
not.
Over the last year, I have changed completely.
Yeah. And like I won't reveal his name, so I give you an example. So I do this discussion all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a young man I work with, and he's looking for a lady or whatever. So he not big into the church thing. He believes, but he not big into the church thing, right? So I told him, I said, all right, now you looking for this type of woman that you are not ready for, okay? And the reason why I say that, I said, listen, first of all, you got to change your perception. You got to change your mindset. And guess what? The women that you want, right, may not be the woman that you need. See, that's the difference. It's big. The woman that you want might not be what you need. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what he likes, but that's what I told him. I said, the women that you want might not be the women that you need. And so I know one thing, he big on Spanish women, big on that, right? So I'll be like, hey, bro, yo, it's a lot of women out here in the world. I said, you like that. That's what you like. But you got to remember, yo, your morals are different than theirs. Your concept is different than what they brought up. So it's a little different. I said, so you got to look at that. You got to make sure that, like I said, you got a good job. We work together. Like we make good money. So you make good money. So now guess what? You got kids. And so you want to, he said, D, maybe I'm not a husband type man. I said, okay, but you want to lay around with women. Just you want to test drive. Nah, bro. So I said, guess what? Now you got kids. What you teaching them? Are you teaching them that same mindset, to test drive the car? No, that's not. No, you get a chance to know that person. A lot of adults don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I know they don't want to hear that, but it's the honest truth, because guess what? If you are 40, 30 and you have children already that's older, Let's say you meet a woman that's a little younger than you, and she don't have no kids. Now you want to have kids with that person. You don't know the circumstance. You don't know how it happens, and now you got to do that. And so, are you willing to say, "I'm ready to marry this woman," and she come first over your kids? And that's a big problem right there. That's a big problem. Women marrying men that have children, vice versa. Women having children and marrying a man. Most people, I would say most, if you're not faith based, have a relationship with God, I guarantee you most men and women will say the kids come first and not their wife and not their husband. And see, look, when you think about that and how deep it goes, listen, if you can't put your husband first, vice versa, if the wife can't put the husband first, guess what? Most of the time, that relationship or that marriage is probably going to end, because I can tell you this: the kids are going to get older and they're going to go their separate ways, and they're not going to be like, "Mom, coming home." They might have a boyfriend, girlfriend, and they, guess what? You didn't separate from the dad. Y'all done got divorced, and now they done moved on. Your kids, your kids that you had with that person moved on. I said, so that's why you gotta have that mindset. And I know a lot of people is not agreeing with that, but it's for me.
Well, it's actually, isn't it in the Bible? Doesn't it say that in the Bible?
Of course, yeah. But guess what? Who was first? Who? Just think about that. Who come first?
I believe it's the husband and wife. I'm in full agreement with you, and it's weird because I've never been married. Like, I've never been married, but to be truthful with you, like, I have a lot of good morals and values. The issue is I just chose to date down for a while, I guess.
Yeah, be careful, because we got a boyfriend. You don't want him hearing this.
Actually, and the thing is, though, I mean, we speak openly. We are very honest. But what I will say is, with him, we were able to build both of ourselves up. When I met him, I was still in college. You know, I was a single mom of 2 kids, going to college, working full time in the day, going to college at night, paying a nanny to raise my kids, basically. And when I met him, I was just about to graduate. And so, you know, now he's got a great paying job too now. So it's good. You know, like, things are a lot better, but it took a long time. But in all honesty, I don't regret it, because even if, you know, God say we do split up, even if we do, I'm just glad that he left me better than he came. And I'm good with that.
So you dated somebody?
We've been together 15 years.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
15 years.
A lot of people don't know that. So on the internet, surprise, I put that I'm single, but no, we've been in a relationship for 15 years, actually.
So let me ask you a question. I'm afraid to ask you this question.
Yeah. I like to keep people out of my business, out of my personal business.
Wait a minute. So
I've announced a couple of times that I have a boyfriend, but I don't show him off a lot.
Did you put this on your Facebook? So all right, so I might not. I am going to ask that question. See, I'm transparent, but I'm not going to ask that question.
Ask whatever you like. I'm an open book. Literally, I'm writing a book about my life. So.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you something. So where is your faith at? Let's start there. Your faith.
Oh, my faith.
Keep it real. You say you're open book. Let's keep it real. Talk to me now. Where's your faith at?
Right now, my faith is just as simple as I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in a higher power. I do read the Bible here and there. I'm not going to sit up here and say I read it all the time. I pick it up every now and then. Okay. And that's about it. I pray probably every night, every other night, maybe. Sometimes I skip, but I do pray. But that's about it. That's as far as it goes. I do not go to church.
All right.
I'm not there yet.
I can tell you this. I don't know you that often. I mean, I say often. I don't know you that well, but I can tell you this. You've been broken before.
I have.
Bad.
I have.
And yeah. To the point where you was going to end your life.
Mm. How did you know that?
No, I'm not psychic. I'm saying to you. So I'm saying I'm not a prophet or nothing, but I do value and I do devote my life to God. I'm not saying that to you. I'm being real with you.
I felt
But
like that about probably 6 months ago. I felt like that 6 months ago. I was in a very dark place 6 months ago.
wow. Now,
Last year has been the worst of my life. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. It has been the
so
worst.
before we get back into the top, because it's interesting,
Mhm.
is that you know there's a transformation that has to happen in your life, and then in that transformation is that there's a lot of things that is going to be uneasy for you,
Mhm.
uneasy, and you
I'm
might
already,
have
to be truthful
huh,
with you, not trying to interrupt you, but I'm already going through a transformation, trust
yeah.
me. And
And,
it's not an easy one.
I, so
I'm
and
having
look
to really look myself in the mirror and really dig deep.
and look, and when you do that, and when you allow God, and I'm not even gonna get like religious on you, you know what I'm saying? Even though my podcast is faith based, but I know how to speak to people on different levels,
Mhm.
and so the one thing I can say is I tell people this all the time, and I respect everybody, in their walk.
Mhm.
When you do that, when you allow God to direct your mind and your path, your vision and your choice making becomes better.
It
And
does.
sometimes you have to give up things that you you hold so close to you, and you got to give them up because God got something better for you. And so why I say all that to you is that 15 years of your life you spent with somebody and they wasn't willing to marry you.
Well, it other way
Was it
around.
you? They asked you to marry them
Twice.
and you said no?
I didn't say no. I just said yes, but we'll work on it. But I keep kind of pushing the date back.
Remember what I said to you? I said to you earlier about pieces to the puzzle.
Mhm.
And if you said, we gonna work, that's not a, and I'm no judging. I ain't judging. I mean, I just like let me go back. I want to see people happy because
Mhm.
I'm a person that like to smile. I want people smiling. I want to see you smiling. I want to see you happy because that's what I'm about. Like a bundle of joy. I always
Mhm.
say joy is everlasting and happiness is temporary.
Mhm.
So you can be happy one day and sad the next. But when you got joy, no matter what, even in the midst of a storm, you still gonna be filled with joy. You're gonna
And
go through it.
that's where I'm trying to be because I'm happy, but I'm not joyful, and
Yeah, and
that's where I aspire to be. Like literally, you just if I could tell my therapist always says, "Well, she always says, what does it look like to be healed for you?" And if I could put it in words, like what you just said, I damn near want to record you saying that because I would like to say that to my therapist. That is where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to have that joy, that inner peace, because my daughter's grandma, right, on the dad's side, she's a Christian, and I mean a real Christian. I'm not talking of just one that waves her Bible in the air. Like she does the work. You know what I
mhm.
mean? And so when I tell you, like, I aspire to be her someday. Just the grace, the calm, the beauty, the joy, the servant in her. Like she takes care of everybody. And she's like 80. And I'm like, how do you get around more than I do?
It,
But it just the happiness in her heart, you can see it on her. It's like a glow. And that's where I want to be.
and if you want to be like that, and you got to, I'm serious because
Yeah,
listen, I've been broken too,
I'm working on it.
and the way to do that is it it takes time. Okay, that's number one. All
Mhm.
right, getting closer to God is the way to get your heart like that. Your heart is your posture. And so, how do you strengthen that? You know, how do you strengthen it? Not only just reading the word, is praying, praising, worshiping. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm gonna speak for me. For me, my worship, I'm a worshiper. I mean, I can get in my car, I can get home by myself and just worship because you know what? I think about all the good things and then the bad things that God brought me out of. And I said this on my show on Wednesday. I've been homeless before. Do I look like I've been homeless? No. I've been homeless before. If you never been homeless, you don't know what that looked like. I do. Sleeping in my car, just sleeping anywhere I could find somewhere to sleep. I didn't sleep on the street, but I slept in my car. Like, I make all this money and I was sleeping in my car because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do with my money. I wasn't, living right. And God said, I have a calling on your life. And so, I'm sharing that with you because, I had to work on my heart too. I was selfish, self-centered. I didn't think about others. And so God worked on my heart. He humbled me. You know what I'm saying? It put me through the storm and I had to humble myself. To a lot of people I hurt. You know what I mean? I mean, we may never have relationships again, but I hurt them. And God worked on my heart. So I had to reach out to them and speak to them. And just being able to do that, it showed me a different side, a different side of what I have to be, not what I need to be. You know what I'm saying? What I'm supposed to do. And so that's how you're going to do it. Look, if you never hear anybody else, I'm guarantee you that is going to change everything about you. That's going to change your relationship, the relationship with your kids, your co-workers, everything. Because guess what? If there's going to be a light that shines so bright in your life, they're going to be like, yo, Jenna, you all right? You be like, what's up? You're going to have that, like you say, you want that joy, that everlasting joy. They're going to be like, oh, I want what she got. You see, always smiling. She always laughing. Even when they just told her she got to work 21 hours. Excuse me. She's still smiling. And they like, man. And that's what happens. Your heart going to change. And when your heart changes, everything about it, your decision making, how you treat people, and not only that, how people treat you. It's going to be
too. I've noticed how you respond. Because exactly. I've noticed like lately, because I've really been doing a lot of work on myself. Oh my God. Like by the time this is all done, I'm going to owe my therapist more than a dinner. Like we've been working so much, right?
But you got to take that Dallas off though. I got mess with you right there. I'm 49ers all day.
Like the progress from from even just 6 months ago, but even 2 years ago, like me and her, we looked at my timeline, right? And we're like, and I know this sounds crazy, but even just I remember turning 40 and just it's like a light bulb went off in my head. And it's like, I'm starting to see people for what they are and see relationships for what they are. And it's weird because the last 2 years, literally have been the worst of my life. But for some reason, I'm able to still hold on and keep a smile on my face and feel happy. But the reason why is because I feel like God is aligning me. I feel like I'm finally aligning with my purpose. If that makes any sense. And I do feel like lately I'm starting to reach out to God more. I noticed I'm praying more. There's a lot of things that I'm doing more. And even just self-care, I never really did any of that. But when I tell you, I don't feel guilty at all for laying on the bed and kicking my feet up. I take care of myself before anything now. But the reason why is because something opened my eyes, and I really think it was God, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I know that something inside of me went off 6 months ago. And I finally realized that I do not need anybody else to validate me. All these years I have spent trying to make everybody else happy and take care of everybody else and make sure everybody else was good. And I had nothing. I literally gave away everything I had, put it that way. And now I'm just sitting back looking at everything and I'm like, what the hell was wrong with me? I'm over here making sure everybody else is okay, but who was checking on me? And so I finally had to take a step back from a lot of people. And I literally lost a lot of people in the last 2 years, just not even by death, but just by cutting people off. You know what I mean? Because I finally know my value. I know what I'm worth and I know what I will and won't tolerate. And whoever can't align with that, they got to go.
They got to go, right?
So a lot of people either had to step up or step off. And the ones that stepped up, they're still around, but there's only 2 or 3.
Write these down. 2 things I want you to work on.
Mhm.
You ready?
Mhm.
And you're gonna have to look them up and look into it and more in depth to it. Devotion and salvation. Devotion and salvation. I want you to pray about it, right? But not only pray about it, look into that. I want you to look into it, and then God's going to open it up. It came to me. Those 2 words came to me for you: salvation and devotion. Trust me. And look, in the midst of you doing that, right? I guarantee you're gonna feel something in your heart.
Oh, I know I will, because
No,
my heart.
You really are. You really are.
Literally, like my heart is open to change right now. Like God is aligning me. I don't know what is happening with me, but whatever it is, I love it. Like it's crazy.
And look, you still have an opportunity to get married. Yo, and I heard you said this before. Oh, I got a different. You said that on the show. You made a comment. You said, I don't think I want to get married. No, listen.
I used to so bad.
But you have to look. You have to be patient.
I'm like, I'm over it.
Yeah, you gotta be patient though, because the right man. Look. Most people don't understand this. Women, I'm gonna say women. You have to be prepared to be a wife. And guess what? How not in a relationship, because you in a relationship with somebody else, right? Guess what? You gonna learn some of his bad habits. He gonna learn some of your bad habits, and then now, guess what? Those bad habits, if you don't fix it, you're gonna take those bad habits into a marriage that you never fixed before. It's bad habits. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. And so when you're in a relationship, you're gonna bring that baggage onto to your marriage. Because and I say baggage is because when you're in a relationship, and like I said, I'm not. This ain't to tear down what you have. I'm sorry. I'm not the author of confusion, so I don't want you to feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
But just know, so we speaking about relationship and marriage. That's what happens when people take their old bad habits in a new relationship, and guess what? They never fixed those bad habits. So now they got those bad habits that they brought from their previous relationship and put it in a marriage, and now they're gonna have chaos, turmoil, misunderstanding, miscommunication. So you got all that, and so that's why it's important to, like you said, what you're doing right now, getting in tune with yourself, getting yourself together, and it's going to be some hard decisions that you're going to make. But guess what? You stand on God and allow God to direct you. And some people, like I said, some people don't want to hear it, but I only can speak from my experience.
I'm prepared to make whatever decision I have to make at this point to put me first. And if that means I'm willing to lose whoever behind that.
No, I know you do. I know you do.
I have finally hit that point.
Huh?
I have finally hit that point.
And look, listen, there are going to be a lot of tears, but the tears that you shed is going to be the tears of your joy. That's what's going to be. Your heart is going to be open, but open to God, and God is going. Look, He's an awesome God. He's an awesome Father. You know what I'm saying? And I'm serious. Like, and that's why there were many days that took, like my wife, right? She don't know. I mean, I told her, but she really don't know. Like, she just, no, I did it. Like, I really wanted to make sure that this was God for me. Like, I said, God, that's my wife. You know what I'm saying? And her devotion to God was what I really wanted. I wanted a woman that was just after God. Everything. Because you know what? When you got that, right? Look, we don't argue. Some people say, you don't argue? No. Now, we have disagreements because I'm a piece of work. I'm going to tell you that. I'm a piece of work. I'm a big baby when it comes down to certain things to her. She's like, oh, you a big baby. Hey, I do the same thing for you. But at the end of the day, is that our devotion and our direction comes from God. And so we know arguing is not going to solve the problem. Do we have disagreements? Do we have misunderstandings? Yes. But we don't argue about it. Some people, we went to therapy, everything. We're only 6 years in. And we went to marriage counseling just for healthy, nothing wrong. Right. And I told them, I said, listen, I told the therapist this. I said, listen, let me tell you something. I'm strong with mine, okay? I don't care what you tell me. I'm not, if I don't want to talk about it the day we have this discussion, I'll talk about it the next day. Excuse me, I'll talk about it the next day. They said, well, you shouldn't do that. I said, I'm not going to bed mad, and I'm definitely not going to bed upset. When I go to sleep, I'm going to sleep at peace. I will talk about it tomorrow. And I promise you that. I told him that because that's me. I don't like going to bed frustrated, angry. Nah, I'm going to bed at peace. I said, babe, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And like, we going to talk about it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I say that because everybody want to have their word. They want to get their point across. Some people don't like that. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it right now. Why we can't talk about it tomorrow? Because if you yelling, right, you ain't listening. If you yelling, I don't care who it is in this world. I'm speaking in the air. I'm speaking that. Now, I'm going to speak that in existence. If you are yelling, you're not listening to the other person. You're blocking it out because you want to get you so focused on getting your point across, you're not listening to what that other person's saying. And so that's what the argument keep on going because you're not really listening. You're not trying to have a conversation. Just think about it. When you're having a conversation with somebody and you calm, guess what? Y'all both are listening. Y'all in tune with one another. Y'all looking at one another. And so y'all listening. But when you yelling, you ain't listening. You like, what? Then that's when the madman come out. You be like, what? I'll punch you in your face. I'll slap you. Oh. Go ahead.
Now, what do you think? Like, see, okay. Now, one thing that to go back to the topic of like what you said about marriage earlier, one thing too, it's not necessarily just like how I'm feeling that made me change my thoughts on marriage. A lot of it was just watching other marriages and then really taking a step back and looking at the government and kind of what's going on in the politics and all that, which I'm not going to get into all that right now. But I will say, to be truthful with you, it's not just like a personal reason. Like, it's also like my views on like government, politics, stuff like that. I necessarily don't want to enter a legal agreement with someone. I wouldn't want to put it on paper, if you will. I would rather just have like a ceremony, like a nice, maybe, some kind of ceremony between us or something, but I necessarily wouldn't want to put anything on paper necessarily. If I did, I'm not going to lie, we would have to have pre and post-nuptial agreements, both of them, pre and post-nup, because whatever businesses I open after we're married, I'm leaving with them, just like you should too. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, are you an entrepreneur?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, if you get in business with somebody else, you got to have a contract.
Absolutely.
All right. That's for your protection. There are clauses in that contract that protects you and the other person. And the same thing with marriage is that, listen, in a marriage, you have to be protected. And if I'm vowed, and so that's what people get misunderstanding of it. If I vow to you, I'm supposed to respect and honor you. There should be a penalty for you stepping out on the marriage, for you doing something that's going to violate me or the woman. It should be a penalty because guess what? You said you was going to take care of me, vice versa. I was going to take care of you for the rest of your life. So when you do something outside of that, it should be a penalty. But now when you don't have those guidelines, when you don't have that, you don't have, listen, it's not the same. And so when you say I do, that's forever. And so if it's not forever, don't do it.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing.
That's why I have not gotten married yet.
No, I know, but remember we said earlier, guess what? When you guys are equally yoked, I didn't say equally yoked, but when you equally on the same plane, guess what? I don't need nothing from you but your love, your devotion, your just making me happy. I'm making you happy. Guess what? We both got money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this is a journey that we gonna do together. I always tell my wife this. I said, babe, when we walking, you ain't walking behind me. You're not walking in front of me. You walking on the side of me. God gave me 2 arms, so you can be we walking on the street. She gonna walk on the inside, but you walking on my arm. You right next to me. Just think about it. When you going on a journey with somebody, they right next to you. It's y'all going together, so y'all flowing together. You understand what I'm saying? She not in the back of me. She not in the front of me. She right beside me. You understand me? And so that's how it's supposed to be. That mindset. We doing this together. So when I go somewhere, she come with me. It's automatic. I'm not gonna go nowhere without her now, which I did this year. I went to a wedding in California, and I was upset she didn't come with me. She's like, "Oh, this money." I said, "Well, I'm out of here." I wanted her to come though. She didn't go. I was upset because that's what I'm saying. I'm preaching something, and I want her to be a part of it, because every journey, every trip that I take, I want her right beside me, because guess what? I ain't been with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So every time I spend somewhere, I want her right there. It's a moment, it's a memory that I'm going to cherish. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's supposed to be. That's the mindset of what it's supposed to look like. You know, everybody has their own perception, but just look at the people in Hollywood. They marry people because, you know, they see them most of the time, and they say, "Oh, let's try to make it work." And they get married, and it don't work because they work schedule don't line up with one another. But at the end of the day, look, I was just telling this person, I was just saying this to the person. I said, yeah, they don't work, but guess what? Where do God fit in all that? I guarantee you, most likely they didn't consult with God and say, "Is this the right person for me?" They just did it, which they do have the will. I mean, their own free will to do it. But guess what? I always say, if you put God in it and you allow Him to be first, He'll help you make the best decision for yourself, for your life. Sometimes there are women out here in this world, they may never get married.
It's probably me.
No, that's not that big. But listen, they probably stay in their same state, and they never meet that man. He might live somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And you never took that chance to go out and explore the world. You can go to a function and meet your husband, and you'll know it, and he'll know that you his wife, and everything will just start flowing. And they'll be like, "All right, we're gonna move you here. I'm gonna buy a house, and this is where we gonna live at, and this is what we gonna be at." And boom, it just happened. When everything is divine, when it's divine, God is in it. Guess what? It happens smooth. And then when you get into it, guess what? You're going to have rocky, you're going to have bumps and bruises. But guess what? When you got there, everything was smooth, because God want to let you know it's divine. It's what it's supposed to be. He's the head of it. You know what I'm saying?
And so I think that's what's lacking in a lot of relationships, including my own. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think a lot of relationships lack that part, that piece of it. And I think that's why a lot of relationships end, the way they end. But what kills me is the bitterness between people. Like that right there, I am not going to lie. Like that has me just, no, like I never want to go through that, because the stuff that I see people doing that have been together 22 years, 15, 17 years, I'm like, oh my God. And what's crazy is all these women used to make fun of me because I'm the only one not married. All my sisters are married, right? Every one of them's divorced except for one. And I'm like, everybody used to and all my best friends, they were all married. Everybody used to make fun of me, but I was the only one that went to college and, got a good paying job or whatever. All of them got married and had babies and did all this stuff. And every one of them are divorced except for 2.
Now, when you look at the circumstance and this situation, because you said you know them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just think about this. I don't know, and I don't want to know, but just think about this. What was the center of their attraction?
That's what I'm saying.
Only you know. What was the center?
They probably lack God.
And I promise you, they're lustful desires, right? And if that's not it, then you got also the lack of respect for one another. You understand me? Either one, it could be the man or the female. The lack of respect and a lustful eye. It's just that's just how it is. I mean, one or the other. I mean, it could be something else, but I can tell you this: lack of respect can cause your marriage to be it. Lack of finance, you not being wise, a good steward of your money, guess what? It can end your relationship. It can end your marriage. You know what I'm saying? You content. You like, oh well, I got a good job, and you're not trying to excel and get more. You trying to
Right.
stay right there, and so now you get. Guess what? It can ruin it because now once one person wants to do more and you want to stay complacent. No,
Yes.
so
And it's
that
like,
that
because some people make good money, but it's like, we could do so much more.
right, and so that's what it all boils down to.
And I
We
think a lot of couples fight over that money and lack of respect.
and so
That's big.
we talked about. I was on somebody else's show, and this what I said to them. If you get into a relationship, right, and let's say the woman has a good job, right, and you have a okay job. Let's say she making 200 and you only making 95. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't got your own business, you making 95 and she making two, she's out your league. She out your league. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how good the sex is. She out your league. And guess what? Some people like, well, I don't care what he say, what Chef Dennis say, but shoot, I'm gonna get that. But guess what? Let's say you have kids together. It is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And remember what I said earlier. There are pieces to the puzzle. Some pieces of the puzzle are not meant to be together. Some people force those pieces together. You're just not supposed to be with that person. It's period. You can't put every key in every door. There's only one key to, well, it's only one shape of key to go in that lock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? There's only one key.
Right.
You can make multiple key, multiple copies of that key for that one door, but there's only one key that can go in that door. It's designed to open that door only. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's so many analogies I can say because that's big for me. That's one of my biggest things. Certain pieces are not meant to be together. It's not meant to click. It's not meant to bind. It's not. And so that's why when you look at relationships, that's why. Because people say, oh, she look good, she looks sexy. Let me talk to her. And she talked to you, and guess what? Y'all had sex, and boom. It wasn't good. It was good. What else do you have? Where your faith at? With your morals. Let's go deeper than that. Your family. Let's look at the family. Let's look at the family.
I think that is a big reason why people end in divorce too. Finances, family, friends, and money.
Yeah.
And infidelity, cheating.
Oh, look, when I told you, it should be a penalty for you cheating. It should be. Hey, you don't feel like you want to be with me anymore, but you want to go sleep with somebody else? Oh, okay. And somebody might say half is not. Listen, there should be a great penalty for you doing it. And if it's half, so be it. Everybody might say, I worked hard for this. Okay, you worked hard for it, but you took an oath that this is going to be forever. You broke it. Just like, watch this. You got life insurance. If you break that life insurance policy before it's supposed to end, there's a penalty. Right. Like you want to take money, there's a penalty.
Right.
You put into that, but there's a penalty. Now they got to take all this money out because you want to take some money out. It's a penalty. And so it's always a penalty. That penalty should be based on, I can say, the crime that you committed. If it was adultery, that's number one. Yeah. Hey, you get everything.
Let me ask you a question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Do you feel like couples can come back from cheating? Do you feel like you can fix it? Do you feel like it's fixable?
That depends on the two. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look. I show you. Listen, it wasn't nothing but the grace of God that I could talk to her and her boyfriend, my ex-wife, and have a loving heart, and really like genuine with them. I'm genuine with them,
Mhm.
right? But at the moment, I was mad. You know what I mean? Had a lot of animosity. I wanted to kill him. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to kill him.
I
He wanted to do the same thing. But you know what? What I had a lot of good friends. I had a lot of people behind me and saying, "What good would that do?" Now you know what? The key thing was this. They said, "Dennis, if you did that, Imani, that's my daughter, she wouldn't have a father because you'd be in prison or dead." And then what clicked in my head is that he has a daughter with my ex-wife. If I killed him, that would be selfish because one, that little girl would have no father. That's selfish. And so right then, God like shut that down for me. Like, nah, not I was able to go to them and talk with them. I told him just like what I'm telling you, I told him the same thing. And he said the same thing to me. But I said, yo, what would that lead me? I wouldn't be able to see. Look, I wouldn't see my daughter graduate high school. I wouldn't see her go to culinary school. I wouldn't see her, her elementary out of eighth grade. I would never see none of that because I would have did something that would cause me to miss all of that. And guess what? I wouldn't have the relationship I had with my daughter. And so, things like that. If you don't, that's why I say I'm big on God being in my life, and that goes to anybody, male or female, is because things like that can change your life because of your emotions, because of how you feel at that moment. And so that's was the most important thing. I'm big on that, having that relationship with God, having a relationship with it. So to the point is when you get down to that dark side, God is right there with you. And I'm telling you, that could have changed my life. You
To
know what
be
I'm
true
saying?
with you, God's the only person that got me through my darkest time. This past 2 years, God has been the only person that got me through because this girl that was my so-called friend, I got her through her darkest time while I was going through my darkest time. And then as soon as she got better and got on her own, she like didn't even stick around. And I'm just like, that's crazy to me because I really needed her, like really needed her. And she left me like alone. So I had to literally pull myself out of this dark place. And 6 months later, here I am.
But
Like it's amazing.
and look, you know what that shows? Your endurance, your resilience. You know what I'm saying? How strong you are. And see, hey, you want to look, you want to be on the winning team. I don't care what you want to be on the winning team. The winning team, listen, when you come out of the dark side, when you come off from the dark into this marvelous light, you on the winning team. You know what I'm saying? Everything. At the end of the day, we gonna always make mistakes. We gonna always do things that you know might not be pleasing to God. But guess what? That's why He did. He said, "Look, I'm gonna bring you out of this. But when I bring you out of this, I want you to understand. I allow you to go through this because I want you to come out of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Honestly, I'm glad I did. Like as crazy as this sounds, because man, like it broke me. But like just going through all of that made me realize that I am so strong. Like I am so strong. And it made me realize that I'm so smart. Like I'm so capable. And it just gave me a sense of self. Like I finally feel like I'm becoming the woman that I've always wanted to be. I'm not quite there where you named yet, but like I'm right here. Like I can grab it. I can smell it. Like I finally love who I'm becoming. And it feels really good.
It's gonna be look. It's gonna be even better. Like I said, you look when you say like you talk about marriage. Look, I'm trying to tell you, you go like once you work on your and at the end of the day, that's what God want us to work on as our heart. That's it. Nothing else. He don't want you to work on your body. I mean, you want to keep your temple good, but your heart because you know what that it teaches you how to have empathy. It teaches you sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Kind and don't allow the enemy to come in and disrupt how you feel. Like man, listen, Jenna, when I kid you not, some people might say, nah, I'm tell you right now, when negative come around me, I'm out. I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to talk. If it's family, I really don't want to talk. Like it's nothing because I
No, I
don't
agree
care.
with you.
You feel me? It don't mean nothing to me. Like, cause I don't want to be bothered with that. Like that's who I am. Like I want to be happy. I want people to be happy around me. So when I come around, it's laughter. It's like we reminisce about good times, good old times. We ain't talking about, oh man, sadness and misery. We not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want those type of people around you either. You want to
Right.
be around people that's gonna uplift you, pour into your life,
Right.
add value to your life, because you're
And
gonna
that's
add
where I
value
had
to
to
their life,
start cutting people off.
huh?
That's where I had to start cutting people off.
Yeah, because you about to go to another place.
And
They not look.
they can go
They
with me.
can't. They can't even go to that altitude where you about to go. They not equipped.
Right.
Like let me see. Tyler
And I
Perry
wish
said,
them well, though. I wish them all well. I
"Huh?
really do. I wish them all well, though. I pray for them still, and I pray that even the friend that abandoned me, like I pray for her too. I pray for all of them. I hope everybody does well, and I hope that they like meet all of their goals.
Yeah, hold on. I'll see something.
I just needed to work on me. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Jennifer had to take care of Jennifer for once.
Now one of my other guests, I sent them some shorts, and I probably call her tomorrow and show her how to do it, how to do the shorts, because I sent her a bunch of shorts. They came up on my feed, and so I sent them to her. And I'll send you some too when we finish. Probably tomorrow sometime. You can put them on your page. So
Awesome.
now look, let's get back to relationships though. I want to enlighten you on something. Is this how you value your relationships with certain individuals are important? And what I mean by that is that it can't be no toxicity in that relationship. It's got to be, like I said, it's got to be people that's going to pour into your life, add value to your life, not take from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Take your time and get you distracted from your focus. You understand what I'm saying? You're about to go in, and I see your desire and you want to change and want to do something great. And in this journey that you about to partake in, is that there are going to be people that's going to try to distract you, pull you away from that, and you can't allow them. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your eyes on the prize, focus on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to do. And it's going to be tough, but you want to do it. You did it already. You did it already. And I haven't did it before. Today I did because I wanted to know more about Jenna. And so, listen, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going. I'm gonna. How can I say this? I'm gonna tell you this. I see your transformation from the old you to the new you. Okay. I looked at your Facebook page, and I see a difference. Before, I could tell you this. That's why you allow people to hold on to you, and you hold on to them, and not really notice that they had a hidden agenda. It's because of your confidence, lack of confidence, shall I say?
Mhm.
And I seen that, and so now you're walking into something new, a new confidence, new strength, and then now what you have to do is, I'm gonna say it. What you have to do is add God into that, in the mix of it, and it's gonna take time because guess what? I don't live in Texas. You do. I live in Jersey, so it's a little different. We live far from each other because I like I said, I got places I go, and that's all we do is happiness. Like I met, actually, there's a few people I met on my podcast. We are friends now, close. I go to their house. We have barbecues. I know their kids. It took time for their kids to get used to me because I'm like, look, this is just a podcast. When you see me, you be like, oh my goodness, that's Dennis. I got mad energy, and it's all love. And the kids had to get used to me. They grown. I'm competitive, and but in a good way, not a bad way. And so that's just part of me, and and you're gonna do that same thing. You're gonna get new friends, and those friends that you're gonna get, you're gonna be able to decide whether they for you or not. And
And
another,
I'm really grateful. I actually have gained a few. I've lost some, but I've gained some really valuable ones. And I'm still just now building a friendship with them. And I'm loving it. Just the energy that they bring, the positivity, and like I'm loving it. And I just know that like whatever God is doing for me, or whatever's going on with me, whatever it is, I'm loving it.
another thing I wanted to tell you: discernment. Put that
Mm.
down. Write that down.
I
Write that down.
just learned that word literally like 2 years ago. I'm not even kidding. It's crazy that you brought that word up. So I did not know what discernment was. I'd never even heard that word until 2 years ago. One of this guy said it that I know. And ever since then, I started like learning it and reading about it. And I just started like realizing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just started learning that. And me and my counselor were talking about that because she was like, well, anybody that's going to bring, godly things or things of God to you are people you need to keep in your life. So it's crazy that we're having this conversation.
Jenna, once you look, know this. This like I said, no, I'm not a prophet. Okay. I'm just a man that God is using. I'm the vessel. That's it, that he's using. That's it. Look, the one thing I want you to know this: the enemy to your soul and my soul, he watches you. And so he know how to trick you. He know how to play on you, right? And the reason why I say that is because the enemy know who he can get, who he can test, who he can trick and maneuver around because of the things that we do. The ones that are strong, he have a tough time with, because you know what? He said, "Man, how can I get Jenna? She's strong there. She don't let nobody come in her oral and curse her out. She'll walk away. So I can't get her there. You understand me? So the enemy out there, he knows how to set a trap based on how our character is. So when you don't allow that to happen, so he has to work at trying to trip you up. You understand me? And that's where your discernment coming at, because you know when the enemy coming, you like, oh, here he come. He trying to talk nonsense. Look, it could be you in a good mood. I'm talking about you feeling, oh man, good. It could be, watch this. And it's not, look, it could be our kids, our boyfriend, husband. You feeling top of the world. And they come in with this complaining attitude, bickering about something stupid. They don't even ask you, how was your day? They just come in with this bickering. But guess what? They could be used playing on you. But guess what? You got to be able to say, babe, not today. Not today. You don't got to say nothing back to not today. He going to be like, what are you talking about? I said, not today. The devil is a liar. Get you some scriptures. Start spreading them out, because he will flee. You start telling him, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Not today. I'm feeling good today. You ain't going to take my joy away. No sirree. And you got to, that's how you got to defeat it, because he going to come. Trust me. He going to try to steal your joy. Try to take it from
the step that I haven't mastered yet. Like I'm at the step where I can see now very clearly who's doing what and why, and you know what I mean, and all of the stuff that I should have picked up on years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to see it, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm not at that level of God help me, like rebuke. Like I'm not there yet spiritually. That's what I need help with. Like I need help with building a stronger relationship with God and feeling more comfortable calling him right then and there. Like, God, help me right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have that yet. I'm not there yet.
And look, and you said earlier, and I know it's now, I know about Texas, okay? And the reason why I said that is because Texas have big churches.
A lot.
Yes, I know. I've been to Texas. I've been to San Antonio. I haven't get to Houston and Dallas yet.
I love San Antonio.
Yes, I love it too.
It's fun.
But the thing about it is that will be the hard part for you, finding a church that is not that big, but nice size, but you can have the one-on-one conversations. You can have a team of women that you get together and spend time together and really devote your time to just working on yourself with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because the big churches, they have a lot going on. And I'm serious, they actually do. Um, I had a few shows I was supposed to go out there. It's just tough to get out there. Texas and California. They big on podcasts.
Yeah.
Both of them, Texas and California. So it's tough. They got big churches out there. And this ain't. I'm not doing this for fame. This is really God's work. I want to be a blessing to somebody else, and I want people to be blessed by this. And I'm glad that you came here. Wanted to talk about this because it's truly something that a lot of people don't talk about.
Right.
In the faith walk, they don't talk about relationships and marriages, and what it is to have a successful marriage, but also a successful relationship that turns into a marriage. And so I always say to people when I advise them is the foundation. What type of foundation are you building your relationship on? Is it just what this person looks nice, and you got a good job, she got a good job, he got 2 kids, I got 1, he's 30.
And to be truthful with you, I think that can change too with age though. Like the longer you're with somebody, I think your reasons for being together and your purpose, I think it can change like over time. What do you think? Do you think that they can kind of change as you grow and as we evolve? Because I know as we evolve and as we grow, like my boyfriend and I separately, because we're both kind of on our own separate journeys and then we're on one together as well, which by the way is draining, but we're really trying to do the work this time. And so basically it's really weird because I feel like the purpose can change. Like I know right now my purpose or my reason for wanting to work things out with my man is it's my reason for being with him is not the same as when I was 28. I'm 43. I've been with him since I was 28. So he's really all I know. I had my kid's dad, which I had kids with, and then boom, him. So it's like
you and him don't have any kids together?
No. He was around while I raised mine. Yeah. While we raised mine.
Do you have kids?
He has none.
Huh?
Yeah, my kids were his only kids.
You and him don't have any kids?
We have no kids.
15 years.
No kids. I did not. He wanted kids. I don't want kids. I don't want any more.
Oh, I ain't got to say nothing. You listen, God. Some people might be upset with me, but listen, I don't do this for fame. This ain't for a popular contest or nothing like that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna keep on saying it. I don't, because even if I grew up, I got bigger and better. What's up, baby? Mine. You want to come on with it?
No.
You come on stage.
No. Why are you talking to me and you're in a podcast?
Hold on, y'all. So y'all can see my beautiful wife. Come on. See, she looks. Now she want to get stopped. Babe.
Is she camera shy today?
I know. Just come, please. No. I want the world to see my baby, my lovely wife. Come on. You look beautiful. Come on. Look, now she want to be shy.
I've been here before. Sometimes you just don't want to get on camera.
Yeah, now she don't want to get on. She don't. Oh no, I don't want to get on.
I get it.
Right? Yeah. She just came back from one of her. She was hanging out with one of her friends. They grew up together. They did a girls' lunch today. Yay. That was it was nice. I was like, yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
See, that's the type of stuff I'm doing for myself now. Regardless of what's going on. I don't care if the house is burning down. I'm doing something.
Yeah, I want to do stuff like that. Because you know what? It's therapeutic. It's good,
It is.
Yeah, it really is. Like when I go out with my friends, I just go out. You know, we hang out, we talk, we laugh. I go home to my wife. Uh, And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. And I tell and you know some of my friends they know I always say this to them. I said, look, all my male friends, if they married, I tell them this. I said, yo, listen, we go out, bro. You ain't talking to no other women. We out together. We laughing. We jiving. That's it. If you decide to go and talk to a woman, don't let me see it because I don't want to be a part of it.
Right.
I don't. I'm not gonna lie for you. I don't. Please, I don't want to be a part of that. So if that's what you want to do, be deceitful. I don't want to be a part of it. So none of
I'm
my
ready.
friends, huh?
I'll leave. I'll
Yeah,
leave. I will flat out leave.
they know. And I said, look, I can't tell you how to live your life, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be a part of that. That's
Right.
bad experience. Like I had one friend, growing up, he going out cheating on his wife, and boom, she called me. Is he did it? Yo, oh man, I'm asleep. Yeah, lying. I'm not with all that. I
Mhm.
got lie. Then I go over to the barbecue. Hey, look at her face, knowing that I'm lying to her. Nah,
Right.
I don't want to be a part of that. Sorry, that's just me. I ain't no being a goody two shoes. I just don't want to be a part of that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't gonna sit there and be fake. I'm not a fake person. I'm gonna tell you the real deal. I'm not gonna be sitting there lying to you. I don't like that. So you know what I mean? And you got same thing when you get new friends or old friends. If you feel like you got to lie for them, those ain't good friends. You shouldn't have to lie for nobody.
No, we're all grown. Like,
Yes.
if you're gonna cheat, just break up or just tell them you're cheating and have an open relationship. Boom.
Shit. You gotta be doing all that. I ain't. I'm not with all that.
I don't do it. I don't. Mm-mm.
But
It's too
but I
dangerous out here. STD rates are high. Dallas is like what, number 11? National statistics. I think they're number 11. I think it
of
was
what?
of having the HIV, and I want to say was it HIV and something else,
Wow.
some other STD, but HIV. It's
That's crazy.
rampant in Dallas.
Well,
Dallas
look,
was
my
number.
state is small compared to yours. I'm living in a little state. I live in Jersey. You know where that's at?
Mm-mm.
You ever been to Jersey?
No, I want to though.
You ever been to New York?
No, I want to though.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
My
Listen.
degree says I've been to New York, but I did it online.
Oh, what? Oh, your school was in New York?
Albany, New York.
Oh, okay.
Graduated with a double bachelor's.
Oh, wow. Oh,
That
jump.
was hard, really hard. One in
So,
health
so,
sciences, one in healthcare administration.
so you definitely gotta make your way up to Jersey and New York City.
You know
Yeah.
it.
Nah, for real. Like I said,
I'm
I've
dead
been
ass serious.
uh shoot, Texas is humongous.
Yeah.
I work in New York, so I work. New York is about 50 minutes, 45 minutes away from my house, so
Oh
I drive
wow.
every day. I told you work 5 in the morning, so
Now, how long have you been married? I'm just curious.
6 years.
6 years. What made you want to remarry? Like, I'm just curious.
To be honest with you, I'm telling you the real deal truth. 'Cause listen, when I was going through my divorce, I was just slanging, sleeping around, but that's not what I wanted. To be honest with you, it's really not what I wanted. I don't want to have to. What? Look, you see it. I like wearing jewelry. You know what I'm saying? I like to have flashy things. That's just me. You know what I mean? And I don't just sleeping with just anybody and just mess around. Is that I gotta hide that? I gotta hide my wallet. I can't trust you. So that's not what I really wanted. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't want any woman. So I was praying. I was like, God, just remove everybody that's not supposed to be in my life at this time. And sure enough, He did. All the women I was talking to, they just move like far. I was like, they just move. Or I lost a number, like I deleted it, and I didn't contact them. I was wilding. So I was like, that's not what I want. I want to be devoted to somebody, one person. And so I just wanted, the right person. And I met my wife on a dating site, Christian dating site.
Hmm.
Now I had some bad experiences on a Christian dating site too. Now, for real, like I was like, oh, this what? You ain't no Christian. That's what I said in my mind because they were talking some crazy stuff. I was like, oh man, what are you talking? So I was like, I kind of scared. I was like, man, this is some baloney. Y'all
You got catfished?
No, I didn't get catfish, but just conversation. Like, oh
Right.
nah, you ain't no Christian. Nah, you talking like that. So, but my wife, man, she was when I tell you she was a stickler, she was a
Mhm.
stickler. Let me tell you something. She was like, when I told her, now I was honest with her, like right from the beginning. I was like, all right, I gotta tell you something. We met up at a diner, and then we went to the park, sat down in the park, and my guy is like, you gotta tell her right now. Tell her now. So when I told her, I was like, look, I'm married, but I'm separated. Like I was for real separated. Like I lived in my own place, and my ex-wife lived in her own place with our daughter. They was living somewhere else, and I was like, I've been here for 2 years by myself. And she's like, no, you still bound to that woman. I was like, what? I said, I've been separated. She's like, no, you bound to her. So I was like, so she made it real difficult. She was like, no dating. We ain't date. She's like, no dating. We can't go out in public. None of that. Sometimes she was like, we can't even talk on the phone. She felt convicted. She's like, I don't want to talk to you on the phone till you get a divorce. So I was like, yo. So I was praying, fasting, went to revivals. I wanted to hear from God like crystal clear. I want to make sure that was so. I had went to this revival. You know who Michael Todd is?
Mm-mm.
All right, so Michael Todd was in DC. I went to his concert. He's not a singer. He's a pastor. So I
Mhm.
went to go see him and everything. And it was watch this. It was mad women here doing the same thing, but God was like, "You're not here for that." So I ain't even ask for nothing. They phone numbers and nothing. We used to have a conversation, nothing. God was like, "You're not here for that." And I was like, well, this might be my wife. He said, you ain't here for that. My wife don't, she's like, oh, no. I said, look, I could have got phone numbers down there. God was like, that's not what you're here for. So I went down there. I got family down there. So I didn't even go out with them. When I went down there, I was focused. I went to I stayed at her house, my cousin's house, stayed in the room. The whole time was there. Like I ain't go nowhere. Didn't go out eating. I was focused because I really wanted to pick the right person. I want to make sure that was God sent. And boom, and we got married. We ain't
Wow.
have no. We got married in City Hall though. She
Now, when you met her, did you automatically know she was the one, or did it take time? Did it grow over time, or how did that work? What was the moment you realized that, okay, this is the woman I want to make my wife?
I seen her devotion for God. So before we didn't go on no dates or anything, I went to her church and she sing on devotion. She's a singer, and I seen her, and then I seen how she talk, how she carry herself. Like she's so proper. She's like, she was at ordering stuff from Wendy's. She's like, yes, thank you. Can you please? I was like, what? Why does he talk like that? Just so proper. I'm like, so we talked on the phone a little bit and just her conversation. And then, like I said, when I seen her devotion and I knew it was real, like it wasn't no game, I was like, oh yeah, that's the one. Like I seen her walk, like, you know what I'm saying? Seeing how she carry herself. You know what I'm saying? And she be like now we married, right? She's so worried about how she look, far as when she go to church, how she got to be covered up, and cause she ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. She got nice curves, so she say, "Is this too much revealing?" I said, "What? It's a regular dress, and it show her curves." And I said, "Babe, what are you talking about?" She said, "I don't want to be a hindrance to nobody." I said, "What? Yo, why you thinking like that? You ain't thinking like that. You got me. Like you going to church regular. So that when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that's the one. Cause she just so like, I won't say perfect, but she just so soft and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a woman, a graceful, beautiful
Yeah,
woman.
yeah. And she look. Now I'm real protective of her. She, our boy, her family know. They was like, oh shoot, do not say nothing around. If they disrespect her, I'm on fire. If anybody, hey, parents, anybody, don't disrespect her. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm a protector. I'm a protect. I don't.
And you know what? That is a very good quality. Never lose that, because there are families out here that will be totally disrespectful to their partner, and partners just allow it to go on. And I'm telling you, that right there will kill a relationship, because that right there will make you not want to marry that person or not want to.
Of course, man, please.
Who would want to marry into that?
Look, we got this saying. Look, we got this saying. Look, she bought this carpet for our a floor mat, and it's something about keep the devil away, keep him out. My thing is this. It's like this. If you can't keep a clean mouth, you're not welcome in our home. Like, we don't. That's not what we doing here. You got to curse and that's not it. I mean it, because it's like, it's just a sign of respect. The sign, look, we ain't talk. We don't talk like that here. Mm-hmm. And so if you can't keep your mouth clean, please, can't come here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm big on that respect thing when it comes to her, because she's so giving, kind-hearted, so sweet, and everybody's like to run over her because she don't say no. Yeah. Like, I had to help her to say no. It's okay to say no, huh?
That's what I used to be.
You say yeah to everybody, right?
Yeah, about everybody. I was just whatever. Nah. Now I'm like, no.
I tell her, you gotta say no. It's okay to say no.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
It's necessary to say no.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So look, listen, you got to go into a new journey. I'm telling you right now, those words I gave you, look it up, pray about it, and I guarantee you, I promise you this, you're gonna see it's gonna be like a shift, and that shift is gonna take you in a whole nother direction. And look, when you go in that whole nother direction, I guarantee you, it's not gonna be. Look, know this. I'm speaking this over your life. It's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be worth it. All right, it's gonna be worth it, because guess what? That's a lot of people that's close to you gonna see it, and they be like, "Yo, Jenna changed," and they're not gonna tell you at first, and they're gonna ask you, "What is this that I see a difference about you?" And you're gonna be like, "It's my devotion to God." Your salvation is gonna change. You understand me? Those things, it's going to change. And guess what? We talk about your heart, the joy is going. That's going to be like, woof, huh? It's going to be a covering over that. You ain't going to just let anybody come in there and take that. It's going to be a covering. That's going to be God guarding your heart. And you ain't going to let nobody. You're going to be like, Satan, get beneath me. Don't be afraid to say that, because guess what? If you know that's him, get out of here. You can't steal my joy. You can't steal it. No, I can't give you that authority anymore. I gave it to you a long time ago. You can't get it no more. And he's gonna start trying to come at you a different way. You about to go back to work. You about to get on your grind. Look, when you go back to the workplace, when you get back to the workplace, know this. He gonna be waiting there. Mm-hmm. How can he attack you? How can he get you upset? Say things that you ain't supposed to say. How can he do that? Nah, you got to say, okay. You got to get you some scriptures in your mind and put them in there. So when they come, you be like, mine is no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Mo 3 said that the best, didn't he?
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. That was my thing. When I was at my job, when I was 30, them dudes used to come in with all this sideways. I said, what? God said, he'll make my enemies my footstool. They be like, they took me to HR. I know they took me to HR telling me I'm threatening them. I said, what? This is my word of God. I could say what I want to say. I said, y'all in here talking about all this gay stuff, and hey, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm quoting my word. Oh, say they said, Dennis, you gotta be my. No, I said, listen, this is what you want me to show you. I got the Bible for him. I showed. I said, listen what it say. You see, read that. Okay. Do it say threaten? Do it say I'm gonna kill you? No. All right. I ain't had no problem with them no more. I only work with them. I work at morning time. That's when I was working at nighttime. So, but hey, it worked for me. It worked, and it worked for others too as well. And I know it's gonna work for you. It just how that's how you do. Oh, there you go.
Right here.
That's how you defeat the enemy.
I'm gonna study him.
That's how. When you, I'm trying to touch him. Listen,
I'm dead ass serious. I'm on the journey. We need to revisit in about 6 to 12 months so you can see where I'm at. Because I'm telling you, I'm not going to be the same person I am right now.
Look,
just like I wasn't. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago.
I believe it. Look, listen, we about to end this show. Before in the backstage, I'm gonna talk to you. I want to talk to you, but we gonna end here. And listen, you still want to do Sunday, or you want to relax? You still want to do Sunday? Yeah. Okay, because Lady T are gonna be with us on Sunday. Mm-hmm. All right, so listen, this is going to conclude our show, guys. We will be on Sunday as well with Lady T as well, y'all. We doing a special for Lady T. Lady T really don't come on Sundays, but she was willing to come. So Jenna's going to be with us as well, guys. We got some great for you. And so we'll see you guys also on Sunday. All right. You guys be blessed, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace. Bye. Hold on, Jenna.